My ex from 15 years ago called me and said, I need you to donate your kidney to me. I laughed at her. Ask someone else. Your body hasn't rejected an organ in 15 years anyway. I went to hang up, but she quickly spoke. It's not for me, her voice cracked. It's for my son. He's 9. Please. I felt bad for maybe 4 seconds. Then I remembered who I was talking to. Celeste, I'm sorry about your kid, but no, I'm not doing that. She hung up. An hour later, someone knocked on my door. It was Celeste, and my brother Lennox was with her. We need to talk, Lennox said, pushing past me into my apartment. Celeste followed, crying. Lennox, what are you doing here? I asked. Helping someone who actually needs help, he shot back. They spent the next hour tag-teaming me. Celeste crying about her dying son. Lennox calling me a heartless coward. Every time I asked why he was here, he diverted the subject to me being selfish. Finally, after a million no's, Celeste looked me dead in the eye and said, you're going to donate whether you like it or not. Over the next week, they kept ambushing me together. I'd be eating lunch, and suddenly Lennox and Celeste would be there, causing a riot in the restaurant and yelling that I was happy to kill a child loud enough for everyone to judge me. Then Celeste took it further. She showed up at my office while I was on a Zoom call with the CEO, with the kid beside her, a pale, thin 9-year-old in a hospital mask. My boss was talking about a promotion when she walked him right up to my desk. This is the man who can save your life, she told the kid, loud enough for everyone to hear. The kid looked at me with huge eyes. Are you going to save me? My boss stopped speaking, staring at Celeste, who had her phone out, filming. I felt my face burning. Celeste, this isn't fair. What's not fair is letting a child die, she said, still filming. She turned to the CEO. Your worker is choosing to let a child pass away. My boss hung up shortly, and the rumor spread like wildfire. That night, Lennox showed up at my apartment with papers, legal documents. I talked to a lawyer, he said, spreading them on my kitchen counter. You can be sued for failure to render aid to a minor. You could face charges. I picked up the papers. They looked official. Court letterhead, legal language, the whole thing. Just sign the consent form, Lennox said, or deal with this in court. I told him to get out. The next morning I was researching these documents when Lennox texted me, good luck. Before I could even respond, my doorbell rang. I opened it, and Celeste's entire family barged inside. Her mom, her dad, even her grandmother in a wheelchair. They surrounded me in my own living room. For 5 hours, they took turns. Her mom crying about losing her grandson. Her dad yelling about family responsibility. The whole time I kept thinking, how did Lennox know they were coming? Were they dating behind my back? And Celeste made a GoFundMe. She used my full name and photo. The title was, Help Us Convince Him to Save a Dying Child. She wrote this whole post about how I was a match but refused to donate. It got shared 617 times in 3 days. My phone wouldn't stop. Friends asking what was happening. My mom calling, crying, asking if it was true. Celeste called me and said, I'll take down the GoFundMe. Just say yes. I blocked her number. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough. She showed up at my apartment at 3:30 in the morning, sobbing, shaking. She said the doctors gave her son weeks, maybe days. She said she was out of options. She begged me to at least get tested, just to see if I was a real match, and if I wasn't, she'd leave me alone forever. I was exhausted. Fine, I'll get tested. Then if I'm not a match, you leave me alone. Her whole face changed. She pulled out her phone and texted someone. 8 minutes later, Lennox knocked on my door. He had a testing kit in his hands. They both stood there as I did the cheek swab. Celeste took it and said results would come in 4 days. The results came back. I was a perfect match, but that made no sense. The odds of a non-family member matching were 1 in 20,000. Still, Celeste and Lennox showed up together that same day, celebrating, hugging. Lennox had his hand on her shoulder, rubbing her back. We can schedule the surgery next week, Celeste said, breathless. Oh my God, thank you, thank you. I didn't agree to anything, I said. But you're a match, Lennox said, almost angry. You have to do it now. Why do you even care this much? I asked him directly. Why are you so involved in her kid's life? They both went quiet. How long have you two been together? I asked. Celeste looked at the floor. Lennox pulled his hand away. 8 years, Lennox finally said. I stared at him. Is the kid yours? That's not your business, Celeste whispered. Then why is donating a kidney to him my business? My voice was getting louder. Celeste started crying. Real crying, not the manipulative kind. Because he's yours. Everything stopped. What? The boy, she said, shaking. He's your son. I didn't tell you. Lennox and I started dating right after we broke up. He's been raising him as his own. I looked at Lennox, my brother, who had always known. You've been hiding my kid from me for 9 years? I raised my hand to hit him. Full story on channel linked below.